Gotcha. That's one for the trolls.
Yo te lo regalo. Llévatelo lejos.
Él es mala suerte.
Y yo no lo quiero. Mi mayor venganza
será que te quedes con él. Shout out to La India, dog.
Soph brought that song in, and she's had it stuck in her head, and now it's stuck in mine.
Well, typically, honestly, you're welcome.
Yeah, sure. I thought we were going to label these.
We did. Right there. You are blue. I am green.
No, stupid. I'm talking about the actual sounds.
No, I know them.
Do you?
Yeah, this one's laughing. This one is our intro. This one is clapping. And then this one is booing. What was the other one? Oh, what a joke. Psych! I want you to stop touching the pillow.
I just don't want it to look like it's like we're purposely like putting it here.
But we are.
Okay, whatever.
Okay, well, we're just going to get started then. Welcome back to the We Should Know This podcast. I am your host, Soph.
And I'm your other host, Anna. Should we do an episode in ASMR voices?
Oh my god, everybody. I don't have nails, so. God, this is just absolutely agitating to everybody listening right now. No, I don't like it.
You're the one. You get easily grossed out.
Okay, well, it's kind of gross to hear somebody like. No, I will mute you. Enough.
Remember, like Debbie used to.
Oh yeah, Debbie. La vaca. It was endearing. Relax. Not that she was an actual cow.
No, she was.
She was. Anyway, how you doing, Nana?
I am tired, Soph.
Are you tired?
I am.
Of what?
Of life.
All I want for Christmas is a break. It's just
a
God
break.
to chill out, bro. Jesus to come.
Well, remember I told you that fall season for me was going to be just as hectic as the summer was.
That's true.
So it has been.
You did say that.
For my real
ding, ding, ding.
job that I unfortunately had to go to because, you know, we live in America and I can't afford to not.
This is America. This is America.
Can't afford to not have a job. So.
This is very true, unfortunately.
But yeah, how are you, Soph?
I'm here. In La Luch.
In La Luch.
In La Luch. But
in the Luch.
Getting ready for these horrific holidays. I'm not a big fan. I really am not. I'm not a fan of Christmas. Let's just put this out there. I'm not a fan of Christmas.
If you're someone who prays, pray for Soph.
I'm not a real Grinch because he gets over it at the end. I'm not over it. And I will not be over it. I don't care for Christmas. I don't care for the holidays.
You do care a little bit.
No, I don't.
A little bit, not necessarily for the holiday itself, but like what we do in the holidays.
No, I care for my friends and family.
That's where I was getting at, was that you care about what we do around the holidays. Like you like spending time with your friends or family or giving gifts or receiving gifts. And that's about it.
Yeah. But we could do that any day of the year. It doesn't need to be during Christmas time because that's fake.
Okay, well, sucks to suck because this year you're going to go with us to Mickey's very merry Christmas party.
I only conceded to go to this because we all went to Mickey's Not So Scary. So it's tit for tat here. Okay, 1 year we go here, one year we go here.
We all like Christmas,
and me love Halloween, and that's it.
Okay, but like, oh well.
Okay, listen. Fair is fair. We went to the Mickey's Not So Scary. Fair thing is to go to Mickey Very Merry, and next year we will be back in Not So Scary, and then the following year after that we'll go back to Very Merry.
It depends if we can afford it.
We will be affording it because
we're also planning trips outside the state.
This is true. This is also true. We want to go to California. We want to go to Georgia. We want to go to
New York. We want to go to Chicago again. Like. Seattle.
At some point, Europe.
Yeah. In the next few years.
Yeah. So, I mean, fine. Whatever. I mean, we still afford it. That's already in the back of my mind. We'll figure it out.
Okay. Well,
But
Soph got monies. She's gonna buy for all of
I
us.
sure don't. No. It's just disclaimer. No, I don't. But anyway, we are back with
We're
another
back
lesson.
With another lesson, and it's actually our last lesson for
Last lesson
season
of
2.
Correct.
You guys, we're nearing the end. This is the second to last.
Second
is
to
that how you say
last.
it?
Second to last. Yeah, the one right before the last episode.
Second to last episode.
Sorry to break it to you.
Of season 2. And we are making a promise to our people, a promise to ourselves that we are not going to wait so long in between seasons.
Did we promise that?
Yeah, we did.
We did.
And we discussed it, us two,
We sure did.
and we're going to try
To not let everything
to
else
not
get
let
away.
the people down.
Don't let the people down.
Don't let the people.
Anyway, yes, you're correct. This is the second to last episode, and it's, bittersweet because we also deserve a break. But we are so happy with how this season came out and how it is going pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And we're thankful for you guys. But we'll leave all the sappy crap for later, okay? For like the last episode.
Yeah. So actually, this is our second to last official episode.
Right.
We might have a special release episode to end the season.
Dun, dun, dun.
If we can get on our ducks in a row, we might have it.
This is true. So stay tuned for that. Keep in touch with our socials, and we'll be, maybe gonna see something really soon or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have a lesson. I did it first last time, so now you will be going first.
I will be going first.
So in that case,
Professor Anna over here.
Professor Anna will be teaching me about the famous or infamous Marie Antoinette.
Marie Antoinette.
I know one thing and one thing only, that she got decapitated, and that's all about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all I know.
Executed.
I know there was a movie about her with Kristen Dunst, but I never saw it.
What did you say?
Kristen Dunst?
That's not her name. It's Kirsten Dunst.
Kirsten?
Yes. For someone who watches, Spider-Man or whatever, you should know that.
Okay. Because she was in like 3 Spider-Mans. Relax.
She was she in 3? I don't know. I've only seen the first.
I hate you. I hate you. I hate
Only
you.
seen like the first. Fully seen only the first one.
It's just disrespectful at this point, and we
talked about this in
sure
last
did.
season,
We
and
sure
I
did.
don't. We still haven't done anything about
For
it.
season 3, you're just gonna have us a video of us reacting to the rest of the Spider-Mans because it's just rude at this point.
We're not doing that.
You don't dictate what happens. Okay,
You're right.
Anyway,
we
we
what
dictate
happens.
correct.
And we
So-
says no.
Okay, whatever. Teach me about Marie Antoinette.
So we're
please.
gonna get into the lesson of the day, Marie Antoinette. I'm actually gonna learn about this myself because I don't know anything.
Wow, you're unprepared. What a surprise,
No.
everybody! What a surprise!
I'm prepared. I just said I don't know anything about Marie Antoinette until now.
Okay, so when you tell me a lesson that you want to learn, I'm going to learn about that first in order to teach you. You're literally telling me that you know nothing about this lady, and we're learning together. So you didn't prepare.
I'm prepared. I got my stuff. Okay,
Guys,
so we're
mention
gonna
in the
start-
comments. Is she prepared or not? You're not.
Okay, so we're gonna learn about Marie Antoinette.
Marie Antoinette, please.
Marie Antoinette. First, we're gonna go with her full name because Marie Antoinette is not her full name. Marie Antoinette. I don't know if I'm going to be pronouncing this
Just
correctly.
butcher it for me.
Joseph Jean. Marie Antoinette Joseph Jean.
Okay. Sounds French.
Yes. She was born 2nd of November, 1775. 1755, I read that wrong. Scorpio Queen.
Scorpio.
And she died 16th of October, 1793. She was very young.
How young was she?
37. Like, I'm almost there.
That's pretty young.
See.
Oh. Find out, Anna. Mess around and find out, huh?
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Exactly. It's a competition.
Okay. So Marie Antoinette was the last queen of France before the French Revolution. She was born an Archduchess of Austria and was the penultimate. I thought that word was just something that they said in Spanish, like, like
Penúltimo.
yeah. I don't know why I didn't think that it was an actual word.
Okay, Anna, when words are created, unless it's irregardless, that was literally made up and then inducted into the
Are you for
Oxford
real?
Dictionary. Absolutely, it's in the dictionary.
Irregardless is part of the dictionary?
Irregardless.
Nice.
So nobody can tell me it's not a word every time I say it.
Okay.
Continue.
All right, so she was the penultimate child and youngest daughter of Empress Maria Theresa and Emperor Francis I. She became Dauphine of, I don't know, Dauphine is, like what, she's like an heir.
Okay.
But they have like names for like specific positions.
Is that how
Prince,
you
princess,
pronounce
that's how I think it is pronounced.
Tossier to tell you.
Yeah, Dauphine.
Okay. I've never heard that word in my life.
Dauphine.
But like a dolphin. No.
Yeah.
Leave it alone, Soph.
She became Dauphine of France in May 1770 at the ripe age of 14. Upon her marriage, oh my gosh, she got married at 14.
Hello.
To I want to say it's Louis or Louis.
Louis.
Louis? I think so.
If it's French, it's Louis.
Yeah, Louis. Louis Auguste, who's the heir apparent to the French throne.
Okay.
On May 10th, 1774, her husband ascended to the throne as Louis the 16th. It's
Right,
Roman
the
numerals.
Yeah. Shout out GOG.
And she became queen. Again, she was born an Archduchess of Maria Antonia of Austria.
Okay.
She died in 16. It's the day after my anniversary. The cause of death is execution.
Perfect.
We're going to find out about that soon.
Sounds gory. Love it.
Now, Marie Antoinette's position at court improved when after 8 years of marriage, she started having children. She became increasingly unpopular among the people. However, with French libelles, that's right? Libelles?
Sounds like it.
Accusing of being profligate, promiscuous, allegedly having illegitimate children, and harboring sympathies of France's perceived enemies, particularly her native Austria. The false accusations of the affair of the diamond necklace. You've heard of that?
No. I know nothing about this woman.
Excuse me. The affair of the diamond necklace?
Yeah, I don't know what that is. She had an affair.
The diamond necklace was commissioned by Louis of France for his mistress, Madame du Barry. At the death of the king, the necklace was unpaid for, which almost bankrupted the jewelers and then led to various unsuccessful schemes to secure a sale to Queen Marie Antoinette.
Oh, snap.
So, the false accusations of the affair of the diamond necklace damaged her reputation further. During the revolution, she became known as Madame Deficit because the country's financial crisis was blamed on her lavish spending and her opposition to the social and financial reforms of Turgot and Necker. Turgot.
I want you to be very clear on the microphone right now. Say that very clear, friend.
I don't know what I'm saying. It's spelled Turgot. Turgot. No,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's Turgot. Or Turgot.
Turgot, maybe.
I think it's Turgot. Okay. And Necker.
That last one, what?
Necker.
Necker. Okay.
Like neck, E-R. Necker.
Necker. Okay. All right. That makes sense.
Okay. Several events were linked to Marie Antoinette during the revolution after the government had placed the royal family under house arrest. And the I don't know how to pronounce all these words.
It's French.
Tuileries Palace. In October 1789. The June 1791 attempted flight to Varennes and her role in the War of the First Coalition had disastrous effects on French popular opinion. On August 10th, 1792, the attack on the Tuileries forced the royal family to take refuge at the Assembly, and they were imprisoned in the Temple prison on the 13th of August. On the 21st of September, 1792, the monarchy was established. Louis XVI was executed by guillotine.
Guillotine.
It's
fine. Guillotine.
On the 21st of January, 1793, Marie Antoinette's trial began 14th of October that same year of 1773.
Okay.
She was convicted 2 days later, by the Revolutionary Tribunal.
We learned this in the
Of high treason and executed also by guillotine at the Palace de la Revolution. De la Revolution.
De la Revolution. Wow.
Says Marie Antoinette was tried by the Revolutionary Tribunal on 14th of October, 1793. Some historians believe the outcome of the trial had been decided in advance.
I mean, she was convicted in 2 days.
Yeah.
They came to that decision very fast.
Yeah. Decided in advance by the Committee of Public Safety around the time the Carnation plot was uncovered. She and her lawyers were given less than 1 day to prepare her defense. Amongst the accusations, many previously published in the libels were orchestrating orgies in Versailles, sending millions of livres of treasury money to Austria, so like sending money from the French government, planning the massacre of the National Guards. Thank God this is the only thing that they put translation for. In 1792, declaring her son to be the new king of France, and incest, a charge made by her son, Louis Charles, pressured into doing so by the radical Jacques Herbert. It's not Herbert, because there's no R. Hebert. Yeah.
Ew.
Jacques Hebert, who controlled him. This last accusation drew an emotional response from Marie Antoinette, who refused to respond to this charge, instead appealing to all mothers present in the room. Their reaction comforted her, since these women were not otherwise sympathetic to her. Early on, October 16, Marie Antoinette was declared guilty of the 3 main charges against her, which were depletion of the national treasury, conspiracy against the internal and external security of the state, and high treason because of her intelligence activities in the interest of the enemy. The later charge alone was enough to condemn her to death.
Oh my goodness.
At worst, she and her lawyers had expected life imprisonment. That sucks. In the hours left to her, she composed a letter to her sister-in-law, Madame Elizabeth, affirming her clear conscience, her Catholic faith, and her love and concern for her children. This letter did not reach Elizabeth. Her will was part of the collection of papers of Robespierre. The heck is Robespierre?
Who's Robespierre?
He's was a French lawyer and statesman who became one of the most widely known, influential, and controversial figures of the French Revolution.
Sounds like a
So her will was a part of the collection of papers of Robespierre found under his bed and was published by Adam Bonaventure Coutures.
Mama,
these are a lot of French words.
You're doing so good.
Okay. Preparing for her execution, she had to change clothes in front of her guards. She wanted to wear a black dress, but was forced to wear a plain white dress, white being the color worn by widowed queens of France. Her hair was shorn. Does that mean like cut?
I don't know.
It doesn't have like a link, so I can look for it. I don't want to leave this page right now.
Shorn.
We'll look it up after. Her hair was shorn, her hands bound painfully behind her back, and she was put on a rope leash. Unlike her husband, who had been taken to his execution in a carriage, she had to sit in an open cart for the hour it took to convey her from the concierge via Rue Saint-Honor thoroughfare to reach the guillotine erected at the Place de la Revolution. Place de la Revolution. Why can they say Place of Revolution?
Because I think it's French. De la Revolution.
Sure.
I don't know.
Place de la Concorde. That's what it's called now, actually. Okay. The present day Place de la Concorde. She maintained her composure despite the insults of the jeering crowd. A constitutional priest was assigned to her to hear her final confession. He sat by her in the cart, but she ignored him all the way to the scaffold, as he had pledged his allegiance to the Republic. Marie Antoinette was guillotined at 12:15 p.m. on the 16th of October in 1793. Her last words are recorded as French. And then translation. Pardon me, sir. I did not do it on purpose. After accidentally stepping on her executor's shoe. Oh.
Oh, no.
Marie Tussaud was employed to make a death mask of her head. Her body was thrown into an unmarked grave in the Madeleine Cemetery, located close by Rue d'Anjou. I feel like I said that right, but I don't.
It sounded fancy as hell. That's what it was.
Because its capacity was exhausted, the cemetery was closed the following year.
Jeez.
It means there was that many people there. After her execution, Marie Antoinette became a symbol abroad, a controversial figure of the French Revolution. Some used her as a scapegoat to blame for the events of the revolution. Thomas Jefferson, writing in 1821, claimed that her inordinate gambling and dissipations with those of the Count d'Artigas and others of her clique had been a sensible item in the exhaustion of the treasury, which called into action the reforming hand of the nation and her opposition to it. Her inflexible perverseness and dauntless spirit led her to the guillotine, adding that I have ever believed that had there been no queen, there would have been no revolution. The quote says, I have ever believed that had there been no queen, there would have been no revolution.
That's like a reach, though.
Yeah.
I mean, but again, I don't know anything about the French Revolution.
Others were shocked by her fate and viewed it as evidence of the dangers of revolution. In his 1790 treatise, Reflections of the Revolution in France, which was written during Marie Antoinette's imprisonment in Paris, but prior to her execution, Edmund Burke lamented that the age of chivalry is gone. That of sophisters, economists, and calculators has succeeded, and the glory of Europe is extinguished forever. And now, never, never more shall we behold the generous loyalty to rank and sex. Rank, not rank. After receiving the news, Maria Carolina was the Queen of Naples and close sister to Marie Antoinette, spiraled into a state of mourning and anger against the revolutionaries. She quickly suspended protection of reformers and intellectuals in Naples, allowed Neapolitan bishops wide latitude to halt the secularization of the country, and offered succor? S-U-C-C-O-R.
Okay. Succor.
To overflowing number of emigrants, which I'm assuming is immigrants,
Right.
fleeing from revolutionary France, many of whom were granted pensions.
Wow.
Both Marie Antoinette's and Louis XVI bodies were exhumed on 18th of January 1850 during the Bourbon Restoration, when the Comte of Provence ascended the newly reestablished throne as Louis XVIII, King of France and of Navarre. Christian burial of the royal remains took place 3 days later on the 21st of January in the necropolis of French kings at the Basilia of St. Denis.
Dennis. Wow. That's reaching, saying that she caused the whole thing, but what a way to go.
Yeah.
And her last words, how sad.
That is sad.
Not even
But
to her
I
kid.
also appreciate the fact that she stuck to her truth.
Well, yeah.
She literally went down fighting.
I don't know about, she
And I
tried
think-
to fight, but they didn't allow it.
Yeah.
24 hours to prepare for a whole trial? Be for real.
Well, obviously.
That's
I
sad.
mean, when we think the justice system here is broken now, imagínate back then.
Yeah, but that wasn't here. That was over there. But
I
whatever.
know. But still, I don't think that should be like that anywhere. Given a day to prepare, found guilty in 2 days.
I wonder what her son thinks of her. Was he okay with her getting killed? Well, he accused her of incest. I assume
He was
like,
controlled. He was controlled by this guy, so
Yeah.
he's the one who had to put.
What a scandal!
I'm trying to
Uy,
find.
qué drama, qué feo, qué feo eso.
The thing is
How
that
well she died at 37. You said.
there's like a thing here that talks about her children. She had 4 children.
Okay.
And this is weird. So, like, the first one is Marie Therese Charlotte, Madame Royale. She was born December 19th. She married her cousin, Louis Antoine, Duke of Angoulême, and he's the eldest son of the future Charles X of France. That's weird.
Don't marry your cousins.
Then Louis Joseph Xavier Francois died in childhood on the very day the Estates General convened. Then there's Louis the 17th of France,
Which would be her
nominally King of France and Navarre. But he died in childhood, no issue. He was never officially king, nor did he rule. His title was bestowed by his royalist supporters and encouraged and acknowledged implicitly by his uncle's later adoption of the regnal name, Louis XVIII, rather than Louis XVII, upon the restoration of the Bourbon monarchy.
Wow.
And then she had Sophie Helen Beatrice. It's Beatrice with an X.
I'm just going to call her Beatrice.
She died in the Palace of Versailles at the age of 11 months after suffering several days of convulsions, possibly related to tuberculosis. That's so sad.
So all her kids died?
Yeah.
So who's the one that accused her?
It's this one.
The
one 17? Who was 17, who was the nominally King of France and Navarre. He was not officially king.
Right. But his uncle then recognized him because he became 18.
But he was bestowed by his royalist supporters and acknowledged by his uncle.
Because he was the firstborn son. Not the firstborn daughter, obviously, because that wasn't a thing back then.
Ooh, this is interesting. So,
tell me now.
In addition to her biological children, Marie Antoinette adopted 4 other children.
Stop, I'm starting to like her.
She had Armand. I guess that's what they called him, but his name was Francois Michael, a poor orphan adopted in 1776. Jean Amilcar.
Jean.
A Senegalese slave boy given to the queen as a present, but whom she instead freed, baptized, adopted, and placed in a pension.
Okay. Well, I mean, she might have been a bad thing, but like that sounds really good.
Ernestine Lambriquet, daughter of 2 servants at the palace, who was raised as a playmate of her daughter Marie Therese, and whom she adopted after the death of her mother in 1778.
Shut up.
And finally, Zoe, Jean Louis Victorie. These are all in French. Whatever.
It's fine. We need the first name. Jean.
Who was adopted in 1790 along with her 2 older sisters when her parents, an usher, and his wife in the service of the king had died. Of these, only Armand, Ernestine, and Zoe actually lived with the royal family. Jean Amilcar, with the elder siblings of Joey and Armand, who were also formerly foster children of the royal couple, simply lived at the queen's expense until her imprisonment.
Oh, man.
Which proved fatal for at least Amilcar, as he was evicted from the boarding school when the fee was no longer paid.
Oh, no.
And reportedly starved to death on the street.
This is sad. This is very sad. I did not expect
You wanted to learn about this?
I mean, yeah, I did.
Armand and Zoe had a position which was more similar to that of Ernestine. Armand lived at the court with the king and queen until he left them at the outbreak of the revolution because of his Republican sympathies.
Oh, no.
And Zoe was chosen to be the playmate of the Dauphin, just as Ernestine had once been selected as a playmate of Marie Therese, and later sent away to her sisters in a convent boarding school before the flight of Varennes.
Oh, my gosh. How sad. Hi. I kind of like her. Sorry if that's controversial, but like she sounds like a good person. And like
she made mistakes.
I mean, so like, she liked sex, guys. Like some people do that. Some people have a thing that they like to do.
Yeah.
And well, she depleted the funds, but that's like Not for a
She
good
had
cause,
a shopping
but
problem.
She had a shopping problem. No, but she also sent money to Austria.
Yeah.
Which is
Was her
against the...
It was against it, but
French
at the same
Revolution.
time, it was her people. She was born in Austria.
I kind of stan. I don't know. But yeah, I think I do. I think I stan her. I would have to read about the French Revolution and see what happened there. But and was it really her fault? But so far, as of right now, I stan.
Yeah.
Marie Antoinette shirts. Just kidding. I'm not going to go that far. But
Long after her death, Marie Antoinette remains a major historical figure linked with conservation.
Arranca el carro, mama, que arranca.
Conservatism, the Catholic Church, wealth, and fashion. She has been the subject of a number of books, films, and other media. Politically engaged authors have deemed her the quintessential representative of class conflict, Western aristocracy.
Hold on.
Aristocracy.
Aristocracy. Say
that
it.
word.
No, say it.
Aristocracy.
There it is, bud. Ba-doom.
And absolutism. Some of her contemporaries, such as Thomas Jefferson, attributed to her start of the French Revolution.
Again, I don't know what that's good about.
The phrase, let them eat cake, is often attributed to Marie Antoinette, but
Why?
there is no evidence that she ever uttered it. And it is now generally regarded as a journalistic cliche.
Okay. I like it. I love cake.
Yeah.
Right. In the next season, we're going to learn about the French Revolution because I'm not quite sure if I like her or not.
Yeah, we're going to write it down. I'm going to write it down. French
Write it down,
Revolution.
write it down.
Things that we need to learn about.
Things we need to learn now. Wow. What interesting facts.
There's also some pictures. Not like actual like life pictures.
I know
They have like drawings.
According
of,
to her
like,
thing, she had big hair. Like giant wigs.
maybe that, well, yes. But that's why they say her hair was shorn. I don't think it was a wig.
So type in
This
shorn.
is a picture.
Allah. Yeah, but yeah.
But that's like one of those old school
It
pictures.
looks like a bird's nest, yo.
How can I save this photo?
Press and hold.
Oh, duh.
She forgot how to use a phone. An iPhone.
Shut up. Shorn?
Shorn. Shorn hair.
Shorn means cut the wool off. Break off or cause to break off.
Okay, so they cut her hair.
So
So
they
her
cut
hair
her
was a
hair.
big part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's tough, dog. To cut your hair like that.
That sucks.
Also to lose your head.
What a sad story.
What is a super sad story? Well, I mean, she did great with those kids.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of stand.
You know, they also have on the internet, on Wikipedia, a picture of her signature. Like, quite literally, her signature.
Que feo.
Says signature.
Cool. I did not know that was a thing.
But yeah, that was a lesson on Marie Antoinette.
Thank you, Professor Anna. That was absolutely incredible. I
so
had
much.
no idea all the fun facts of Marie Antoinette. I'm going to do some research on my own to figure it out if I still like her or not. So
Or maybe somebody can let us know in the comments.
go ahead. Do you stand Marie Antoinette or do you...
Do we stand her or do we not?
I mean, don't tell me what to do, but like, I want to know what you think.
Yeah.
You know? So, moving on. Anna, what
Moving
do
on.
you want to learn about?
So, I want to learn. When I, because we share notes.
We sure do.
So then when I put it on the notes that this is what I want to learn about, she's like, why the hell do you want to learn about that? Like, who cares about that? So I want to know about the Headless Horseman. Do I care to know? Not so much, but I want to know why he's a headless horseman, why they call him the Headless Horseman. Maybe he does have a head. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know.
Well, we're going to learn all about it.
We're going to learn all about it. The Headless Horseman.
So, the Headless Horseman, right?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, it's fake.
Oh, okay.
Well, you know it has to be fake, right? Because there's not a person...
Well, yes. Obviously.
Okay. Right. So,
But I want to know, like, where that came about.
So, the Headless Horseman, famously described as the haunting antagonist in author Washington Irving's Legend of Sleepy Hollow. the Headless Horseman, has captured imaginations for generations. So he is a character in an essay by Washington Irving.
So he's fake, but he looks pretty real and Mickey's not so scary.
Right. But it's fake.
Got it.
So the story goes, or the essay goes, the legend of Sleepy Hollow embarks on the tale of Ichabod Crane. He is a skittish school teacher who tries to woo a wealthy landowner's daughter called Katrina Van Tassel. Right? Crane's plans are spoiled by a brawny Brom Bones. It's the bully, Brom Bones. And in the story, the Bones poses as the Headless Horseman in a devious plot to scare away Ichabod Crane. Right? So the Headless Horseman sometimes goes galloping, or sometimes is known as the Galloping Hessian. So it's not Haitian, it's Hessian.
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 And his head is often portrayed by a pumpkin, or often a jack-o'-lantern, while riding a black horse. The story goes that the Headless Horseman is the ghost of the Hessian soldier who was decapitated by a cannon fire during the Revolutionary War.
Oh.
So that's supposed
Revolutionary War. Both lessons.
Wow.
So we definitely need to learn about
it. Makes sense. You remember that?
It makes sense.
What are you talking about? Whatever. So while this frightening figure continues to live on the pages of the legend of Sleepy Hollow, local lores claim that the Headless Horseman is buried in Sleepy Hollow Cemetery in Sleepy Hollow, New York.
Oh.
It's a place. It's a real place.
I don't know that.
The legend says that the ghost tethers his horse to the graves at the churchyard, only to set out at night and search for his missing head.
Okay.
Irving published The Legend of Sleepy Hollow between 1819 and 1820 in his collection of essays, The Sketchbook of Godfrey Crayon Gent. Set in Dutch country of the Hudson Valley, this iconic 19th century story has been told and retold countless times for generations in books, songs, movies, and on stage. A number of landmarks described in Irving's stories are visible in the community of Sleepy Hollow. So things that are said in the story, you can see them in the actual place in Sleepy Hollow, New York. The story's influence prompted the village of North Tarrytown to officially change its name to Sleepy Hollow in 1996. While myths of the Headless Horseman can be traced to the Middle Ages, the infamous Headless Horseman from the Legend of Sleepy Hollow has become a fixture in American folklore.
Taylor Swift.
Okay. Wow. So you can you can basically trace the tales of the Headless Horseman back to the Middle Ages. There's a historian, Elizabeth Bradley, a historian in the historic Hudson Valley, says that the likely source of Irving's Horseman can be found in Sir Walter Scott's 1796 The Chase, which its translation of this German poem, The Wild Huntsman, is likely based on Norse mythology. She says that he had met this guy named Scott, which is the one who wrote The Chase or whatever, in 1817, and then he released Legend of Sleepy Hollow, or the Book of Essays, in 1819. So he could have been influenced by this guy, but then he could have been influenced by the German Haitian. Right. They say that he could have also been influenced when he may have drawn inspiration for his story while a teenager in the Tarrytown region. He moved to this area in 1798 to flee the yellow fever outbreak in New York City. He would have been introduced to local ghost stories and lores at that impressionable age because he was young.
Yeah.
He cleverly weaves together locations like the old Dutch church and the churchyard, The churchyard, Major Andre's tree, some actual family names, including the Van Tassel and Ichabod Crane, a little bit of the Revolutionary War history, with a pure imagination and fantasy. So, it's a melting pot of story and totally American. So, it could have been any of those influences. So, what is the meaning of this whole Headless Horseman? There's a professor at National University who specializes in Gothic studies. He says that the Headless Horseman is a supernatural entity, represents the past that never dies and is always haunts the living. He says the Headless Horseman supposedly seeks revenge and a head, which he thinks was unfairly taken from him. Potter, which is the person's name, says this unjust demand that he continually searches for a substitute. The horseman is like the past. He still seeks answers, he still seeks retribution, and he cannot rest. We are haunted by the past, which stalks us so that we never forget. So, did you know that there is a Disney movie based on the Headless Horseman? This is why you see him in Mickey's Not So Scary.
Isn't there a movie? Well, I don't know that. No, never mind. I'm pretty sure it has nothing to do with that.
What?
There's a movie called Sleepy Hollow. Does it have?
Correct.
Is that the Disney one?
Yes. So the movie is called The Headless Horseman, right? It is Isn't there a movie
called The
Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
Sleepy Hollow?
The Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
The Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
Correct. And it's so he is the antagonist, the main antagonist of The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, which is the second half of Disney's 1949 animated feature, The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Todd. So basically the movie is Brom Bones tells Ichabod Crane the story of the Headless Horseman, who is the worst ghost of all of Sleepy Hollow. Every Halloween night, he rides across the countryside looking for his head, and if he can't find it, he'll take other people's heads to replace it. This is the bully telling Ichabod.
Okay.
And the only way to escape him is to cross the bridge near the church, as the horseman's dark powers are limited to the woods. It's a ghost story. That very night, Ichabod rides home alone on his horse, Gunpowder. What a cute name for a horse.
That is cute.
And keeps imagining that he's being followed when he finds that it's only cattails bumping on a log. Ichabod laughs hysterically before being joined casually by Gunpowder. I guess he fell off. Whatever. But both rider and horse suddenly stop as another, more sinister laugh joins them. Both slowly turn around to find the Headless Horseman about to attack them. Sword at the ready, he gives chase, laughs all the while.
So in the story, or is he actually like shown as headless? I know, like when we go to Mickey's Not So Scary,
He has a pumpkin.
Yeah, but he's holding the pumpkin. It's not like he looks like he's headless and he's holding the pumpkin. But in like the movie or like the show, is he headless or does he have the pumpkin on?
No, he has the pumpkin in his hand. So it says here that he chucks pumpkins. Like he throws pumpkins to stop the people so he can take their head. It's fake. Slowly turns and gives him the chase while laughing. Then when Ichabod momentarily is trapped on the horseman's own black steed, he looks down at the horseman's neck to only find nothing but an evil, hollow laughter. Ichabod runs for the bridge and barely manages to make it across. As Ichabod turns around, he screams as the black horse rears up and the Headless Horseman throws a flaming jack-o'-lantern at him. Ichabod tries to dodge the horrible missile, but too late. He gets stuck in the head. It gets stuck in the head. He gets struck in the head and tumbles off of Gunpowder. The very next morning, Ichabod's hat is found next to the shattered pumpkin. However, Ichabod has vanished since Brom and Katrina Van Tassel are married. Rumors about Ichabod still alive and married to a wealthy widow in the distant country are all but dismissed, as the good townsfolk of Sleepy Hollow know he must have been spirited away, or most likely killed, by the Headless Horseman himself. So, and then there's a bunch of other cameos that the Headless Horseman makes. So he makes an appearance in Darkwing Duck, House of Mouse, Cat,
All Disney movies.
Mickey Mouse, Once Upon a Studio. He appears in a bunch of those, and he appears in the Disney parks, Hong Kong, Disney World, Disneyland. So he makes appearances in different places.
Fun.
So that is your legend of the Headless Horseman.
So now we know it's fake. He's not actually real. Obviously, like,
we knew that.
we knew that because you can't be alive and not have a head.
So, like I said, some of the influences were either...
I just assumed that maybe he covered his real head with a pumpkin.
No.
And so you can have... a pumpkin as a head is not a real thing. So.
Right. No, so they're saying... So the reason why the pumpkin is because obviously it's a story. But since the influence most likely came from the German Hessian, which was the soldier who got blown up by a cannon fire on the head, it happened during Halloween time.
Oh, yeah.
So since that's the most likely or one of the most likely influences, since it happened during Halloween, what's more popular on Halloween than a pumpkin? So if you're trying to make a scary story, like a ghost story, like the Legends of Sleepy Hollow, you're going to think, let's just use what I have around me. It can eat pumpkins.
Yeah.
So that's just a scary tactic.
Interesting.
A scare tactic. Which now makes me want to go watch The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Shark.
Have you seen it before?
I've never seen it before, but I do know that there is a ride in Disneyland called The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Shark.
I've never seen that movie. I've never heard of it. Never seen of the Legends of Sleepy Hollow either.
Me either. See, that sounds scary to me. I'm okay. See, that sounds
But
scary.
I feel like Disney wouldn't have scary movies.
So I saw
it could be
TikTok.
Suspenseful, but not
I saw
scary.
TikTok. So it's a cartoon. It's an animated film. It's
Oh,
not even
okay.
really real. But there was this lady on TikTok who went to Disneyland for the first time. She's like, oh, I'm gonna ride everything that I can, and that ride was available. So she rode it. She came on. She's like, I gotta go to church.
Gotta go to church.
She's like, I gotta go to church. She's like, who said that we can ride this? She's like, you're literally being chased by the devil. Just
That's
the
funny.
Headless Horseman. So interesting.
So we go watch the movie and then we go to church.
Right.
Why?
Did you have any other question? You literally repeated me, so.
I know, but now I
Called the.
it's like you with the na 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 na.
You're no beauty queen.
That was an interesting lesson.
Did you want to know something else about?
No, I think you answered my only question that I had. About
He's not real, and he most likely a real person influenced or whatever. He was influenced by a real person.
I guess.
The poor soldier who died from cannon fire to the face.
Cannon fire to the face.
Rest in peace, guy.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
But yeah, that was a fun lesson. That was our last lesson of season 3.
That's right.
Season 2.
Season 2. Oh, no.
Wow, I'm ahead of myself.
Have we been renewed?
Have we been renewed? Apparently we have. She'll get it.
It's not working. Oh no, writing error. What does that mean? I don't know if that... Oh my God, we're going to have to check this. Anyway, we have been renewed for season 3.
We have been renewed for season 3.
What a blessing.
3.
You're welcome, everybody. But yes, so prepare for the end. This is the end.
It sounded so sad. Like,
It
because you
was-
made it sound as if, like,
Okay.
that's it. Like, this was the end.
As we go on, we
Pretend it's a lighter.
remember all the times we
together.
spent or had together.
I think it's had to get it. Or maybe it's
As our lives, it doesn't matter. As our lives change,
From whatever.
come whatever.
Come
Okay,
whatever.
we cannot. I think we're done today.
We're done today.
It was a short, sweet, to the point episode.
Yes.
Let us know if you're if you learned anything.
Yeah.
Do we stan Marie Antoinette? Because I think I stan her.
I think so too, but like when you learn about it, let me know.
No, you're gonna learn about it on your own, and I'm gonna learn about it on my own, and then we're gonna stand
Or
not.
leave us a comment. Let us know. Stop
Yes.
doing that.
enough. I think we're done.
Anyway, we have our last guest of season 2 joining us next week.
That's right.
So make sure that you guys tune in.
You're not going to want to miss it.
You're not going to want to miss it. We hope that you guys enjoy it. It's another one of our friends.
Professional friends, relax.
Professional friends. All of our friends are professional, okay?
That's why we asked them on here, because we know nothing of what they do.
Yeah, we don't.
But yes, so be sure to like, subscribe, turn on the little bell notification, share it with your friends.
Rate us.
Rate
5
us
stars only.
5 stars only. Anything less will be deleted or debated.
Yeah. And comment your suggestions on things that you guys want to hear, things that you guys want to see on our YouTube channel.
What should we learn about next season?
Yeah.
Because I'm really excited. What should we learn about?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that we still don't know. And
Yeah.
I think as the seasons go by, we're just going to change the dynamic. We can change the setup if we want
That's
to
right.
again, make it all different. Right.
I don't know how else are we going to just function your house?
I don't know.
We're going to figure it out. We're going to do it outside next season. No,
Yeah.
we're not.
No,
I
not
regret
outside,
saying
but-
that. The moment it came out of my mouth. Ew.
Not outside.
No, we're not doing it outside.
Absolutely not.
Con el calor que hace.
Unless
Tú estás
it's
loca.
like February at 6 o'clock. Because it's cold and the sun's not out.
No.
But
I
no.
want the sun. Sorry. This time change me tiene so upset. I miss the sun.
I mean, like, it's fine.
Okay. So Ana Luz clearly doesn't care about the sun. You
I'm at the office, like,
don't have windows at the office?
I do. I get enough sun. I'm literally, the sun is standing
Qué
right
bendición.
behind me all day.
Good. Que bendición. You're welcome. Is your
have
office
window?
cold?
No, I get hot.
Oh, no. Well, with the sun on top of that, well, that sucks.
Yeah,
Okay, get yourself a fan.
I do. I have one. A little desk
Wow,
fan.
really?
Yeah, I do.
It's kind of cute.
It's my
Alright.
savior.
Okay. Jesus is your savior.
Okay, well, my little fan is next.
Anyway, have a wonderful holiday season.
we love you guys. Thank
Love
you so
ya.
much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. And happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Bye.
Bye.